The air in the spirit world was thick, crackling with residual divine power. Evil spiritual Saiyans, shadowy specters of raw malice, unleashed twin torrents of dark energy, aiming to obliterate Goku and Caulifla. But the two Saiyans, standing back to back, met the assault not with broad blasts, but with focused intent. They channeled the immense, newly unified power into their fists, transforming their arms into cutting weapons that sliced through the spirit Saiyans like phantom blades through water. As they did, immense primal images, the spectral forms of colossal golden great apes, the Oozarus, flared momentarily behind them, a fleeting testament to their awakened ancient blood. The spiritual entities recoiled, their blasts ineffective against this impossible convergence. In a flash of unbearable light, the Ultra Goku and Ultra Caulifla forms were struck, not by defeat, but by the shattering energy of the vanquished foes. The Saiyans dissolved, their essence merging with the very beings they sought to destroy. The two Saiyans had accomplished what no god of destruction, no angel, perhaps no entity in existence had dared, the true harmonious unification of two separate divine powers. Caulifla, her face radiant with a triumphant wild joy, embraced Goku with a fierce hug. "We accomplished all this together," she breathed, pulling back to look into his eyes with a profound, confident smile. "I want to have a child with you. When the most powerful unite, the result can only be something greater, a powerful new Saiyan, someone who carries the blood of this new era." Goku returned her smile, a rare gleaming intensity in his eyes. "Our child will be very powerful." They spent the remainder of their time in that ethereal realm, the silence broken only by the crackle of their surging energies, perfecting this impossible state. Whis, observing from the sidelines, was genuinely stunned, a faint smile playing on his lips. "You have defeated divine powers," he conceded, a statement that was both a commendation and a warning. The day of the fight dawned, not with light, but with an ominous, chilling presence. All living and dead Saiyans, resurrected and transported for this final spectacle, stood opposite the assembled legions of Frieza's soldiers. Zeno, the Omni King, was present, an innocent-looking child radiating sadistic anticipation for the grand finale of his deadly game. Grand Priest, with his customary serene efficiency, announced the rules, reinforcing the brutal simplicity. The fight ends with a surrender or death. He added the chilling caveat that any unsatisfactory performance could lead to immediate, irreversible erasure by the king's boredom. Champa and Vados were there, the god of destruction looking on with anxious sweat, while Beerus remained conspicuously, strategically asleep. Hope and dread were palpable in the air, a mixture of warrior pride and existential terror. Then they appeared, Frieza and King Cold, radiating their dark forms, the zenith of their race's evolution. Their auras pulsed with a chilling dark purple light, mimicking the destructive energy of a destroyer god. They were masters of Hakai, wielding the power of destruction with practiced lethal grace. The Saiyans and the cold demons faced each other. It was then that Goku and Caulifla stepped forward, their presence not just powerful, but absolute. They were not playing. Vados, for the first time, allowed a flicker of genuine shock to cross her face, though she quickly recovered, her certainty in the Saiyan's ultimate defeat unshaken. Ginny, in the audience, asked if this was the final stage they had spoken of. Whis confirmed it, his voice hushed with professional awe. Goku and Caulifla were the first to unify two distinct divine powers into a single cohesive form. Grand Priest's voice boomed. "Begin." The battle ignited with breathtaking speed. Goku lunged for Frieza, while Caulifla engaged King Cold. They exchanged cautious, blindingly fast blows, testing the depth of the enemy's destructive power, all while acutely aware of the bored king in the audience. The air immediately became a pressure cooker of taunts and insults, the Saiyans goading the demons sneering at the simian weakness. Frieza's soldiers roared their support, while the Saiyan audience watched, every muscle clenched with hope and fear. Vados had trained her pupils to perfection. Every strike from Frieza and King Cold was a marvel of destructive precision, a perfect technique honed over eons. But Goku and Caulifla were not just powerful, they were synchronized, an impossible dance of unified might. For over 30 brutal minutes, the battle raged. The atmosphere itself seemed to tear with each impact. The Saiyans fought with a desperate, monstrous resistance, never allowing the demons a chance to corner or coordinate. Goku, sweat dripping, breath heavy but resolute. They are powerful, but they won't defeat us. Caulifla, her eyes blazing with fury, will finish them off. They launched their ultimate, synchronized assault. Golden and crimson ki erupted, matching the torrent of dark purple Rukai energy pouring from the demons. The combined power was absurd, a singularity of force that caused a panic in the audience. A brilliant golden shield flared, courtesy of Dynan, barely protecting the assembled fighters. Zeno's eyes were wide with ecstasy. What an explosion! I want more! From the dissipating smoke emerged Frieza and Cold, wounded but wearing identical, chilling smiles. Frieza, arrogant even while panting. Enough. Let's show something very interesting. Cold with a smear of contempt. Time for the final trick. They initiated a Universe 6 fusion, the rapid, complicated dance culminating in a touch of the hands. The resulting being, a nightmarish, perfect union of the two demons, simply declared itself Frieza. A cold, mixed voice echoed across the arena. Now, the King's game is over for you. Whis's composure crumbled, a bead of sweat trailed down his cheek. Vados taught this. This changes everything. He glanced at his sister, who offered only a calm, disconcerting smile. In the stands, Bardock clenched his fists, Ginny screamed, and Caulifla's father, Lick, roared, "Caulifla, show your strength, daughter!" Goku and Caulifla, perfectly synchronized, did not hesitate. Caulifla, firm and confident. Goku, fearless and smiling. Together until the end. They split, flying left and right, their attack an X-shaped burst of crossed punches and simultaneous kicks. Frieza blocked, but for the first time, took an involuntary step back. Zeno clapped his tiny hands with glee. Minutes of raw, agonizing tension followed. Every blow from the fused demon echoed like a death knell. Goku and Caulifla blocked the heavy strikes with their arms, blood flowing freely from their battered bodies. Frieza landed a vicious kick that forced Goku to spit blood, smiling his sadistic, fused grin. Is that all Saiyan pride can offer? How pathetic. You fight together and you will fall together too. The audience shield pulsed wildly, protecting the onlookers. Whis, regaining his composure, noted the alarming development to his sister. Vados, it seems that, soon, new gods of destruction will appear. Despair began to creep into the Saiyan ranks. The fusion was proving superior. Adit, wild with rage, screamed, "Kakarot, you idiot, don't you dare lose! Damn cheaters!" The king was delighted, the excitement only grew. The Saiyans could inflict damage when attacking in unison, but the fused demon's counterblows were too heavy. The Saiyans bled. "The fate of the Saiyan race is in our hands," Goku grunted. Frieza, enraged by their persistence, decided to break their unity. "These two fighting together are more dangerous than apart. I will destroy her first." In a horrifying flash, a dark energy blade swept out, severing Caulifla's arm. Frieza pressed his advantage, but Goku intercepted, protecting his partner with a staff of pure crimson ki, a spectral reflection of the power pole Gohan had gifted him. Realizing the severity of the damage, Caulifla reverted to her Super Saiyan form, the only state that allowed her to activate her phenomenal regeneration ability. Her arm began the slow, agonizing process of knitting back together. Goku threw himself forward, a living shield, enduring a brutal, one-sided assault to buy her precious seconds. These were the most terrible moments, Goku suffering a hellish beating while his partner was at her most vulnerable. Then, a concentrated blast of dark energy slipped past Goku's guard, hitting Caulifla directly. Her body disintegrated. Her soul, a shimmering image of light, appeared floating above the audience. Gone is the chance to fight for my people, for my family, and for our future together. Her expression was one of profound sadness. Goku looked at her soul, his face a mask of primal failure. "Damn it, I swore to protect you, and I failed." Frieza threw back his head and laughed, a shrill, horrible sound. "A dead female monkey and a lone monkey. Now it's your turn." Something snapped within Goku. A deep, cold, consuming rage, an emotion unlike anything he had ever felt, began to boil. He harnessed this feeling and the raw divine energy flowing through his cells in a final cataclysmic move. He screamed and the surrounding power exploded. The Ultra Oozaru awakened. A red and gold aura, dense as liquid metal, tore through the arena floor. Goku vanished, reappearing behind the fusion. A single, clean punch to the back of the neck sent the monstrous Frieza careening across the arena. Goku was on him in an instant, gripping the demon by the throat. "You will not destroy the Saiyan race." Caulifla's soul watched, stunned. "This is incredible," she breathed. Goku had merged Super Saiyan 4's primal might with Ultra Instinct's divine perfection. "That multiplied your power," she smiled through tears. The fusion could only be called Ultra Oozaru. Goku faced his enemy, his fury incandescent. "You killed my partner." The pure ki staff reappeared in his hand, and he unleashed a ferocious, clean sequence of attacks. Frieza spat blood, but his dark arrogance quickly returned. "You surprised me for a moment, but don't think you'll win." Despite the glorious, savage assault, the fused Frieza was still slightly more powerful, enough to land more blows than he received. Goku realized it, and Caulifla Sul, watching with mounting desperation, cried out, "Damn, if I were there!" Caulifla asked Whis if the fusion had a weakness. The angel, his usual calm returning, revealed the secret. This fusion normally lasts 30 minutes, but for individuals of immense power, the time decreases to 5, 10, or 15 minutes. However, I believe my sister has modified it to last the full 30. Caulifla screamed to Goku, "Then you just need to prolong this fight." Goku, suffering terribly, enduring blows that should have ended him multiple times, held firm. He didn't back down, he held the line against the impossible. And then the time ran out. The two demons separated, returning to King Cold and Frieza, all three combatants utterly exhausted. The fight did not stop. Father and son, in their combined weakness, attacked the lone Saiyan. Goku, with his last reserve of divine Oozaru power, turned his full fury on King Cold, piercing his eyes and then his heart. The king's soul appeared next to Vados. She watched, disappointed, her plan for Cold to eventually challenge Champa foiled. Frieza was alone. He launched a huge sphere of dark energy, a terrifying replica of the blast that had annihilated planet Vegeta. Goku did not flinch. With a single explosive punch, he pierced the sphere. Behind him, the colossal, primal image of the Oozaru solidified in a golden silhouette. Goku advanced, punching clean through Frieza's body, which began to fall to pieces. The demon screamed in a panic-stricken frenzy. "This is impossible! I should be the winner!" Goku raised his hand, a terrifying crimson sphere of concentrated divine ki forming above his palm. "Game over for you, bastard!" Zeno, jumping in his seat, screamed, "He won!" A wave of ecstatic joy erupted on the Saiyan side. On the demon side, there was silence, then a few words of grim honor. "They fought well. I feel honored to have served them." Zeno, his eyes gleaming with satisfaction, looked at Vados. "You did a great job, Vados, but goodbye." He snapped his fingers. The cold demons and their entire army vanished, erased from existence. Vados and Champa remained, witnesses to the aftermath. Goku stood in the middle of the field, looking at the empty space where his enemies had been. Then he slowly smiled. The fear in the onlookers was palpable. He only raised his hand and they disappeared. This creature is terribly powerful. The divine power receded. Goku returned to his base form, walking to his partner's soul and looking into her eyes. Finally, this game is over. Now it's just you and me. We can return to our world. The Super Dragon Balls materialized, but before making the wish, Goku made a final decisive request. In addition to the restoration of planet Vegeta, he requested the restoration of all the worlds destroyed by the Saiyans and Frieza. The king, satisfied by the spectacle, accepted. The Saiyans were revived, the worlds restored, their memories altered, unaware they had ever been annihilated. Goku stood before all the assembled Saiyans. From today, the new Saiyan Empire is born. I am the king. The Saiyans will offer technology, trade, and security to the restored worlds. However, he added, his voice dropping to a dangerous chill, any world that refuses to participate will be destroyed a second time. I hope they refuse. I want to annihilate worlds. Caulifla approached, her soul embracing his body, her light merging with his form. You are the king, and I am the queen. All that's missing is a prince or princess. Bardock, Ginny, and Caulifla's parents watched with overflowing pride. Vegeta watched in silent devastation, his worst nightmare, a new, greater king, becoming reality.